Good evening, welcome to Leicester Fan TV. It's Christmas, it's Boxing Day. What an absolute turkey, you'll have to excuse the pun tonight, what an absolute turkey of a match that was today. Looking forward to watching Leicester again after the big break, as I'm sure most of you were going down to the King Power today. Good atmosphere right up till kick-off, and including the first 90 seconds. And then, honestly, Leicester City did not turn up at all, and I want your views, I want your comments. I want to know, did any players put any effort in today? I said in a comment afterwards, I wouldn't rate any player above 3 out of 10. Rodgers, tactics, what tactics? What manager, what is he doing during the game to affect the game? Welcome to the show. We want your views, your comments in tonight's Monday night Fan Zone show.
Welcome to Leicester Fan TV. Are you ready for the show? Thanks to our sponsors, ADT Taxis, Everard's, Pucka Pies, Pink Car Leasing, Leicester Riders, Hologram, The Fox's Arms, Peter's Pizzeria, Hope Against Cancer, and Newbie & Co. Estate Agents. We want your views, we want your comments, so join us live. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
So, first of all, I hope you all had a great Christmas and Santa came and brought you lots of nice things, maybe a few Leicester City things. How much turkey have the team been eating yesterday to put in that performance? I know Brendan Rodgers started his Leicester interview on BBC Radio Leicester by saying, lacking aggression. How can you have a team lack aggression? Passion, that's what I call putting in a bit of a shift. We want your views, we want your comments. This is your Fan Zone show. This is just my views. I want your views. We put them on screen and we'll get them in there. Simon says absolute shite, Rodgers out. I wondered how long it would take for somebody to say Rodgers out. I've been on the fence. I was Rodgers out when it all got too silly and then we started winning again. And I'm just so bored of witnessing. I left. I was honest. I don't mind. I put my hands up today. I left on the 82nd minute today. I'll tell you why I left. A couple of reasons. One, I took my dad, and he's even older than me, so we thought we'd beat the crowds. But the biggest reason we left at 82 minutes, before people start calling me a plastic fan, before people start saying, Phil, you've got to support them through the thick, you've got to support them through the thin. Part of the reason I left today was because we were just reminded again that there is no plan B, and I am sick to death, absolutely sick. I'm bored, I'm fed up of saying, where's the plan B? How can you be 3-0 down after 31 minutes and just carry on playing the same? Do you know in the 82nd minute, when I'm watching Danny Ward pass it to Wes Fout passing it to Amati, and Amati back to Luke Thomas and back along the line, I'm just going, this is just woeful. When we brought Vardy on for Daka, it's just little fast man up top, switching for another one. And to be fair, that's what it was. And Diddy comes on for Sumari. Little bit of a change when he puts Iheanacho on for Barnes. But nothing happened. It was just the manager's paid to have tactics, isn't he? Tactics, make decisions, manage, inspire. Aggression. If there's no aggression at half time, what is the manager doing at half time if he isn't screaming and shouting at them saying, where is the aggression in there? Mark says, let's get some of your views in before I start to lose my rag even more, because it's just boring. I hate to leave on the 82nd minute. At half time, we were saying, and Mark says it, absolute rubbish. At half time, talking with the people I sit near, and we were sort of joking and it was bad. And, we're going, well, this is going to be the best 4-3 comeback ever. But it never, ever in a year of Christmas days looked like we were going to get back into that. Ethan says pathetic. Philip says, what's wrong with Madison? I don't know. He was all right to be with England for 5 weeks, having fun, swimming by the pool, sitting on that bench, doing all that. And then, as far as I know, he's been out to Dubai and he's come back from knee injury. I think everybody seems to feel like potentially, like Jason says here, this is what fans are starting to say, what a load of rubbish to Maddison, already packing his bags for Newcastle. Let's be honest, we know it's happening. Is Maddison going to go in January? What do you think? Get your views in, get your comments in. Ryan says, the game was rubbish, unfortunately, so were our fans. No one was seeing this the first time I left 10 minutes early. Ryan, ditto. Very rarely I leave the game early, but I was just like, we're never going to score. And it was gutless. There was no passion. I want to pull out Daka. I've been saying Daka last year. You can watch my videos. You can watch the videos. I put it out there, and I said it last year. I called it this time last year. I said Daka isn't good enough. I've said it at the end of last year. I said it at the start of this year, and I will keep saying it because that's my honest views. I want to know what you lot think about Daka. I keep saying it. He is not a mid-table, top-table, any sort of Premiership player. How many chances do you want to give him? Honestly, he was kicking towards where I sit in the family stand in the first half. It's just bad. It's not good. It never makes me feel. I've got Reedy's going to join us in a minute, and I know Reedy's a big Daka fan, but he is, for me, he is pants. He is not good enough in there. I'm going to call it. I have called it. I've been saying it for months. I've said it for a year now. I want to be proved wrong, and I keep saying that. Prove me wrong. But I'd rather have some 19-year-old Leicester lad in there who's up and coming than Daka, because I just don't see he offers you absolutely anything. Jason said, stop watching after the third goal went in, embarrassing and shambolic all over the pitch today. The chaps in front of me, they went at half time. I don't blame them. It's Boxing Day. There was nothing. There was no creativity, no nothing. LCFC Bray says it absolutely right in there. I want to see Fires and Cags, and we need 2 strikers. Again, Daniel Martin. Blows hot and cold. On his good days, he's okay. That's my view. Marty's okay on his good days. If he has an average day, it is bang average. And when he has a bad day, it's bad. Don't really get it. Don't get what's going in there. Daniel says here, Rodgers 3-0. He does nothing to get the energy on the pitch and go for it. All we got, pass backwards, no leadership on the pitch. Daka, if Chelsea are after him, let him go. He's useless. I have not heard that rumour, Daniel, about Daka being Chelsea wanting Daka. I can't believe that. That's absolute rubbish. I had to watch my language there. I can't see Bolton wanting him. I can't see Derby County wanting Daka. Again, maybe I'm too hard. Kenny says, no service to any of the strikers today. No, because we're playing this, we honestly just playing the world's dullest type of football. I don't know why, absolutely. Simon says in here, Daka's acting bad bye. We need a big strong striker like Tony strike. We need something, Mick. And that's why I say a plan B. There is no plan B. Again, check the videos, check the posts. Check back 12 months, check back 18 months when I've been saying my plan B. A manager, I hate to rant about Rodgers, but a manager has to look at that and go, whoa, we're 3-0 down. This is not working. I think we could see it was working after 6 minutes today. But then it gets to 3-0 and you go, this is really not working. And Rodgers today didn't do anything to change that. He complained about the players having no aggression. He didn't do anything to give them aggression. Rodgers needs to apologise for the embarrassing performance, says Tara. Good money paid by supporters to watch the dross. I'd like to know what the fans did at the end, because I'd gone. I'm being honest, I'd gone. So what happened when the final whistle went? Was there many fans left in there? Well, I assume there was booze. There was booze at half time, which you might say was harsh. But, Kenny, what was the excuse given today? Kenny, the excuse today given by Brendan Rodgers was the players didn't have aggression. Passion, aggression. His word was aggression. How can you have players on 50 to 150 grand a week not having commitment, aggression, passion after just having the World Cup, where six players went off to the World Cup? The other 19 squad players have just had 4, 5, 6 weeks off and training and trips abroad and being mollycoddled up at Seagrave. And what more do they want? Sorry, Reedy, thank you for that. It just is what it is. The councillor says, abysmal, lacklustre and poor. What a Boxing Day letdown. Good evening, councillor. Happy Christmas to you. I agree with this. James says this. I called it earlier in a post, James. I love the guy, but KDH hasn't been the same since signing his big contract. 100% agree with what you said. The minute he signed that big contract, he's gone bang average. He looked decent. I'm with you on that, James. I called it in a post earlier, and I said even KDH has gone since signing that contract. I was level with that chance. Daka claps like a heap of crap, says Daniel. I'm going to get Reedy on because Reedy's going to give you the balanced view on the other side. Sorry about the sound. I've not got a mic in tonight. It is what it is. It's Boxing Day. And I nearly just after the football today, I'll be honest with you, I nearly came home, took the scarf off and went, do you know what? Stick a James Bond on or a Western or The Great Escape. Just, I want to be entertained. Reedy can entertain you. Hey, welcome to the show.
Hello.
Obviously, we travelled back from the game, so we've already chatted about this. But the more I thought about it, Reedy, the more it annoys me from today because it was woeful and gutless. And Roger says no aggression. I know you are so like you always see the positives. So tell us what did you see today? I mean, LCFC Gray says Vardy's finished. I think Vardy is finished. I think Daka's rubbish. I think Sumari. I haven't even got on Sumari. I think he's bang average.
Thing is, everyone's going to say that I don't know what I'm talking about and whatnot, but
Really
today
really
I
go home and away and watch it all. So you watch it more than me.
I just feel like we did try today, but at the final ends of every single attack or every single good thing we tried to do, it just was awful, and that was the difference today. I don't think the first 7 games of the season was as bad as what we did today. I think today we just had one off and it just felt absolutely just didn't feel like our day. The ref was awful. Yes, the players were awful, so you can't really complain that we were 3-0 down. But at the end of the day, I don't think Newcastle were that good either. And we just let them play. Like I say, the first goal was pretty basic. Obviously a penalty. I've not seen the replay, but I don't know if it was. If it was fair play, you just didn't see VAR. Second, absolute disgraceful defending, goes straight through us. And then the third one, again, a set piece, which we thought we solved, but obviously not.
So, really, you're going down the line that actually Newcastle weren't that good today?
I'm not saying that we were good or bad. I don't know. It was a very one-off for me. I don't think we played anywhere near as like crap as people are saying. Like, yes, the performance was awful, but there was a lot of play that I saw that was decent, and then the last pass to complete something was absolutely woeful. Like, we had a lot of attacks, and the last passes were awful.
But it wasn't the last pass. It was our last pass in that sequence because that's when we lost ball.
Yes, that's what I mean.
Yeah, it wasn't. But I don't want people who weren't there to think, it was that last pass in the 18-yard box that let us down. Because it wasn't, because we were losing the ball on the edge of our area. We were losing our ball in the middle of our half, on the halfway line, in their half. We were losing the ball everywhere today. We had players 3 or 4 times running into each other. I kid you not, that's Sunday League. Boom.
Yeah.
There was one, And I want to pick your brains because I know me and you, we always argue about Daka. We always argue about Sumari.
Okay.
For me, neither of them should be anywhere near the starting 11. Sumari, Roger said in his post-match today that Sumari was perhaps a little bit off the pace. Why are we not playing Mendy then, who's just played in the last 16 of the World Cup and is at that level?
I don't know what to say. Like, my excuse for Sumari starting today was because Sumari played brilliantly against MK Dons, and then everyone will just say it was MK Dons, which I get. But
It is
if
second
someone,
box one.
but if they start playing, if they do play well in that sort of game, you kind of give them the opportunity to play in the Premier League. And I don't think he was that as bad as people think he is. Out of all the players today, I think Perez and Sumari were the ones that I thought, "Do you know what, you can come out of this saying that you played okay for me."
Again, I know I split decisions maybe on Daka. Wayne's with me saying Daka's not good enough in there. Ethan says it though. Have I missed something? Daka wasn't bad. He was our biggest threat in the first half. Where was Barnes? Where was KDH? My big thing with Daka is he threatens to run around somewhere near the ball a lot of the time. So he's sort of there or thereabouts, but never actually does much. And then when he does get the chances, there was one in the first half where he had the ball towards the edge of the area, but it was there and it was like shoot, and he didn't. He tried to pass and it didn't come off. There was another one where he was sort of a running through. He was about 35 yards out. And by the time he actually brought the ball down, for some reason the Newcastle players didn't then tackle him, and he just didn't sprint into the box. And I just don't. I see nothing from Daka. If I for Loughborough Dynamo, I would say I don't think he's good enough for them.
I get what you mean about Dak, and like he's not scoring goals, but it's like everything else he does as well as just scoring the goals. For me, like I think his running off the ball was decent today, but again, what Barnes couldn't get the ball to him, Perez couldn't get the ball to him, Pratt couldn't get the ball to him. He can't really do much if he's not getting good service, and you said that all the time with Vardy as well. We are missing that link up play between the wingers. Like I say, Barnes had so many chances to run at the wing today and bit of ball in, but his final cross was just absolutely awful. And I feel like even Barnes is not great now. He's not even good enough. So we've just got to get a bit of team spirit. And before the World Cup, everyone was backing Rodgers to the hills because we were getting win after win. Now after one, this is the biggest thing for me. After one loss, everyone's already going straight back to the Rodgers out. Which, if you're a Rodgers out before the 7 games that we started winning before the World Cup, you're Rodgers out after we've won them 7 games, because there's got to be an in between. So for me, I'm still Rodgers in, because after one loss, it's not changed my mind.
No, I think, and that's fair enough. Ben says Daka is another Musa in there. Ethan says just because they came through academy, don't sugarcoat it. Ethan's talking here about, I mean, KDH, I put it in a post earlier, Reedy, and I called it, and somebody else mentioned it. I said the minute he signed that big contract, or bigger contract, it's gone off the boil.
He was playing on our side. He was playing on our side today, where I sit in the ground, and every time he tried to pass the ball, he had to use his left foot. He could not use that right foot. I've not really noticed it until today, but every time he got down to the left-hand side, his passes have to be gone to his right foot to get back into play, because he's not going to be passing it off the pitch. So he got caught out a lot of times there. But
Matt cannot have watched the game if he says that. I'm not being funny, Matt. Either you weren't at the King Power Stadium, or if you were watching it on Amazon Prime, I think you must have flicked over and been watching an episode of.
I think what Matt's saying as well, obviously, Newcastle weren't as great as. I know what you mean. Newcastle weren't great. Don't get me wrong. Yes, they won 3-0. But again, like you even said, if we were anywhere near good today, we probably would have gave them a bit of a challenging game, because they weren't that hard to beat.
Again, Baz says there we lack winners. We said that while we were watching it today. We looked around the squad and we looked and we went, really, who's captain material on the pitch today? And Yuri did not have a great game, and
He was awful.
Even the set pieces. The set pieces I remember in particular for Yuri today was, I think we had 2 corners. We might have had more, but 2 corners that didn't even get past the first man, and that's just technique. And then he had another one in the first half where we had a free kick, and they took around the penalty area. Yuri puts it down and took a little. He did a little bit of a cheeky one, but none of the other Leicester players knew it. And you go,
Remember that one, yeah.
what are you doing on the training ground if that's because that's obviously a practice training ground, so they must need a signal to go, I'm doing that one.
That's what I said. That's what I said. When if you're doing a technique that could have worked, but obviously didn't, you have to give a signal to show what you're doing on this training.
And Jackery says there, didn't even beat the first man, didn't beat the first man. Yuri was back to that Yuri we were questioning a few months ago, which before the break was like, Yuri's on fire, Yuri's doing good.
Yeah, with the set piece plays, obviously, I don't know if you watched much of the MK Dons game, but I think we're looking into a different sort of style of set piece tactics where we're passing quite low and direct from the corners into the box. And obviously it didn't work today, but against MK Dons, a few of them actually went pretty much straight through the team and got into the box. So maybe it's a technique that just didn't work today, but I know we did it at least 2 or 3 times against MK Dons, unless it was just awful free corner taking. I'm not too sure.
Really, I don't know, I'll get bored of saying it, but I'm going to say plan B. For me, the Rodgers in, Rodgers out debate, which has been going on for a long time now, not just this season, even last season. I think whether you Rodgers in or Rodgers out, which I don't want to start that debate tonight, I think you and everybody watching must agree that he doesn't really. My opinion of a manager is you do the coaching on the training ground, and then in the match, the manager has to make decisions that can change the game. And I struggle to remember any times where I think, oh, look what Rodgers has done there will change the game. Today is a perfect example. Nothing he did today, including probably what happened at half time, changed the game. And therefore, I think I have to at some point go, if I keep knocking my head against this screen constantly, I will keep hurting myself. And Rodgers just keeps doing the same things.
I think the only reason I could back that today is because it 2 or 3-0 down in a quite quick time. Can you really be like, I'm going to change it to try and win a game or even draw the game? I don't think it's even possible. Like, I know it's possible to still win a game after being 3-0 down, but you're kind of putting yourself at risk by putting all that attacking or putting less defenders on and more midfielders or more attackers on. For me, you should have just switched it up a bit, see if it worked. And I think when Vardy did come on, it did change a tiny bit. But I know what you mean, it's like for like. But maybe at 2-0, when we were playing a bit better and we were getting back into the game and maybe going 2-1, that's where you should be maybe like, okay, then you got Daka on, put Kell on as well and make it a bit more 2 up front. Or Yuri Tielemans not doing great, so you bring him off. But then obviously Pratt came off with injury, so Perez came in, which I kind of like because he was one of the better players today. So that's the only reason I can back him here. But I know what you mean. The last few games, it's always Daka for Vardy or Vardy for Daka. You've got Barnes for Albrighton. You've got Tielemans for Pratt. You've got Maddison for another midfielder. You got Faze for Evans. It's always the same situation where you're going to sub off to put another same player sub on. Which I completely get.
The biggest change of tactics and formation today was to remove Harvey Barnes, who was playing on the wing, and bring Kelechi Iheanacho on, which he sort of was still playing on the wing and sort of a 2 up there, But again, I don't know. Was he playing a 2 up top at the end there? We didn't switch our play. You're playing 2 up the top, Iheanacho and Vardy. It's like, for me, it's like go longer ball. But when we walked out the stadium on 82 minutes, which I know is embarrassing to say that, when I walked out in 82 minutes, I stood up and I watched them passing it around the back again. And I had to say to my old dad, we're never going to score. Never going to score today. I don't even think we had one shot in the second half, which was Iheanacho. And he played 20 yards over the bar. The bloke behind me said, well, at least he had a shot. And I went, yeah, at least he had a shot, but it was fucking crap.
I don't think today, even if we did have a plan B or we changed things up, I just don't think we would have scored because for me, as much as yes, we did play poor, I don't think the game today was going for us either. Like the amount of times passes, like probably if passes worked, it would have gone right. And the ref was awful. I just don't think it was our day as well as being poor. But again, I know what you mean. In some games, Plan Bs are massive for us, and we need to. But I don't think a
But
Plan B today would have. No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying there is, but today I don't think even a Plan B, even if we had one, would have worked because I just don't think we had it in us to get anything. Once we were 2-0 down in 7 minutes, I already said it was game over because it's so hard to get back from 2-0 down and then let alone 3. It was kind of already consolation goals you're expecting.
Jamie from the Fox's Arms is putting things politely there with his "It's a shower of show."
The thing is, once again. When was the once again?
Well, it has, because the first 8 games of this season were awful and we were straight back to it today. Really, before you get on to that, Mark says here, KDH on the high press, again, the Wolves, Everton and Leeds games worked really well, which Roger needs credit for that. If not, it's not Roger's fault that some players can make a 10-yard pass, says Ethan. And Barnes was poor today, really.
But that's the thing. He says the touches of a lot of players. That's what killed us. The amount of good passing we did, and then it just ended up in the ball just losing, like just rolling back to one of their players and whatnot. It killed us because we just couldn't get any rhythm going. And he said it exactly there. Barnes, every time he got the ball, he was either too far behind it. Vardy made that cross into the box. He was just not there. But nothing worked for us today.
And Lee says Plan B was to bring Vardy on here. Lee, why I'm going to disagree with you on that is because he plays Vardy and Daka in the same role, the same position. They try to do the same things. Vardy, for me, Daka is a poor man's Vardy, a very poor man's Vardy. But the trouble is, I hate to say this, and you might all not like me for it, but I'm afraid Vardy this season is not the same Jamie Vardy we've been used to. He is not at the same levels. And I hate to say it, Lee, but Jamie Vardy is not the Jamie Vardy we know anymore. And I think that's just something we have to get used to. But I agree, if we played differently when you brought Jamie Vardy on, it could be a Plan B. If you went counter-attack...
When you brought Vardy on in the 65th minute, that's where you bring Kelechi on as well. You don't bring him on the 80th minute and give him 10 minutes to try and to get 3 goals out of it. You've got to bring them both on at the same time and go to up top and try and go for it. You don't put one time each time. Because then it's pointless putting Vardy on his own.
Really, listen, it's about time to go. I can smell turkey pie tonight is in the oven. What you got for tea tonight?
Homemade chips, I think.
There you go. I know you're going to Liverpool on Friday. Sadly, I'm not going, but I'm almost grateful after today.
We'll win, mate. Onwards and upwards, mate.
Typical Leicester, we probably will. Anyway, enjoy it up there on Friday, and don't forget, send us the reports and the photos from up there. Thanks, Reedy, for joining us.
No worries, seeing it.
Thank you. It's always great to get Reedy in, get his views. This is what we love on Leicester Fan TV. I'm definitely not right. Reedy's probably not right either. You're as right as I'm right. Whatever. We all have these different views, which is what it's all about. But what I do love about Leicester Fan TV is that between us all, we can say what we think. I always say that in there. I always think we can say, if we think Daka's good, we can say it. If we think Daka's bad, we can say it. Which I know other media outlets just can't say it and won't say it. And at least we can have that debate and go, who should start on Friday against Liverpool? Would it be Daka? Would it be Vardy? Should it be Soumare? Why is Mendy on the bench? What the hell is happening with Kaglar, Sayuncu? What is going on? We can have that debate, which is why I'm pleased that we do Leicester Fan TV, but I'm more pleased that you lot watch it and are all part of it. Listen, well done to Joanna. I'll post a photo. We met up with Joanna inside the ground actually, and gave her the shirt she's won. So well done to Joanna Astley. And I will see you all very, very soon. We've got lots of content going out this week over Christmas. I can't even remember what day it is. I think it's Monday. The match is on Friday. It never makes sense over Christmas. So have a great one. Enjoy the rest of Boxing Day. And I'll see you very, very soon. Turkey pie, guaranteed.
Thanks for watching Leicester Fan TV. Thanks to our sponsors, ADT Taxis, Everard's, Pucka Pies, Pink Car Leasing, Leicester Riders, Hologram, The Fox's Arms, Peter's Pizzeria, Hope Against Cancer, and Newbie & Co. Estate Agents. Make sure to follow us on all of our social channels at Leicester Fan TV. Visit our website, leicesterfantv.com.